Hi, this is Andrea from Tech Support in Corvina, and in this video I'm going to show you what the organizations are inside the platform, as well as some information concerning the consumption and resources. So let's get to it. As you can see here, we are just logged in inside our Corvina instance domain. We simply go to IAM organizations. And here is what we have. So basically we have one organization named Andrea and one sub-organization called Andrea Sub. What is an organization? Basically it's an entity that collects devices and users. That's it. We do have the possibility to add resources to our organization. In order to create an organization, you simply need to click on the Add Child Organization, and this new window will pop up. You can define a label, like for example, test. And as you can see, automatically the name of the organization will be typed. In this instance, you can modify this name, and this is going to be the organization ID. So once this is created, it will not be able to be modified in the future. So as you can see here, we have also the possibility to allow full privacy for our sub-organization. This is very handy in case the child organization do not want to share any type of information to the parent organization. That means also that the parent organization is not able to see what's happening inside. So everything is gonna appear as grayed out, and it is not possible to access it. We also have the possibility to enable Internet of Things, VPN, the dealer, if this child organization is able to resell the Corvina licenses, as well as some options to define that the child organization will live on its own resources. So it won't share the resource with the parent organization. Also, the store can be enabled for allow this child organization to download apps from the Corvina store. It is also possible to enable IP filtering. That means that in case we want to access this organization only from a certain type of IP, because we know exactly that we want to access the organization from the headquarters, for example, we can put the IP here. And everything that is not coming from that IP will be pushed back. You can also click here to suggest the IP, and everything is going to be automatically populated in case. We can fill the resources here, like the number of organizations that I can create, the user that can be created as well, the devices, and so forth. Once everything is done, we simply click OK, and the new organization will be ready. In the Resources tab, we have all the assets that we can use with our organization. In this case, we can create up until 5 sub-organizations, and we have 2. We can have at most 5 users, 5 devices, and 10,000 Internet of Things messages. We can check also the Consumption tab, from which we can see the consumption of all of those resources, as well as some different kinds of display options, like showing the tabular version or the graphical version. We can export the CSV, we can select the dates from which we want this data from, for example, the last 30 days. Click OK. We can also do some forecast value in case we want to have a forecast, for example, in 3-month time. We can also click here in case we want to show the child organization resources as well for this analysis. So beyond that, we can go to roles, and I want to show you what are the application roles and device roles. The application roles are simply stating what can a user do from what cannot. Everything inside Corvina can be customizable in terms of permissions, and application roles grant you this kind of access. Device roles instead allows a user to access certain devices instead of others. So it's very important in case we want a particular user or a group of users to access only certain types of devices or only certain device. In order to create a device role, something is going to be already created by default, like administrator, viewer, editor, but we can create our customizable ones. So for example, in order to do it, we can simply add a new one, role name, we define a name for it, for example test, an ID for this application role will be automatically created. We can define that this kind of role can have access only to favorite applications. So that means that in case a user is only allowed to access one certain type of dev applications, we need to click on this and enable this. And access to child organization. So in case the user is allowed to access child organization from the organization that he belongs to. Here, this part here is basically the core of the application roles, and here we define everything that can be done in Corvina for this application role. So this is the user create, delete, read, and update. So allowing this, we can allow the user to do certain types of actions towards user creation and editing and so forth. Same is valid for the user group, organization as well, the roles, the dashboards, the models. This is dashboards and models. It's going to be very important for the Internet of Things, which we'll be discussing later on in future videos. As well as devices, device groups. In case we want to access a device, our user needs to have, for example, at least the device read. So we need to enable the user to access this device, to have a read on these devices. So we define this here. Same is valid for the device group, and same consideration for notifications, alarm, and audio. To show you an example, if we want to allow a user to only see dashboards, so we have favorite applications, which is going to be one of our dashboards, for example. And then we have everything set up that we have an organization read because it needs to access an organization, dashboard read because we need to access a particular dashboard, models and devices needs to be read as well, along with the device group. And that's it. That's everything that is needed in order for a user to see only the dashboard. The device roles instead, as mentioned, is a way that we have to allow a user to access certain devices. In order to do it, we simply add a new role. We define a role name, the ID is going to be automatically populated, we can add the description as usual, and then we can add devices and device groups. For example, if we click here, we have some of our devices and device group. For example, we want to allow this device role to access the test device video, and then we can define permissions. What are these permissions? Basically, these are linked to the Internet of Things. It's going to be clarified much later in the videos, but for the moment, I just want you to know that these are related to the models of the devices. And here we can define which models this device role can have access to. Very important here is the VPN access. So in case we want this device role to have access to the VPN, so we won't allow the user to have VPN access, we have to click here. And this is basically everything that we need to know about application roles and device roles. Thank you very much for your attention and see you in the next video.